Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back here with another episode of the Unpopular Mangaka. We're on episode 5 right now. We have special guests. I'll let her introduce herself in a bit, along with my co-host, Jonia.
Yo, what's up?
Hey guys, I'm NG Khan or Crab Baby or Crabs. I'm the mangaka behind the Interloper one shot. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Good to have you. So, first question that we always ask everybody that joins the show. Your work, Interloper. What were you listening to when you were making that?
So I think around the time when I was developing like the world, I had Spirit Box's Holy Roller on repeat. Like I'm not even kidding, I must have played that song like 500 times in a row. But yeah, I mostly listen to like metal or like metal subgenres, metal for new metal, like any of that. That's what I hope to kind of put into Interloper. Like it's just a heavier atmosphere, if that makes sense.
So metal songs, huh?
Yeah, metalcore. So like Spirit Box or Under Oath, Knocked Loose, Deftones, like that sort of vibe.
Well, here's a good question then. What are your top 5 favorite songs?
My favorite songs, I can't possibly pick. Right now,
Just one you really like.
you could just pick like any song off of Spirit Box's newest album. I think any 5 of those.
I know Spirit Box. Check it out. I had to check it out, that one.
You have to.
So, one thing that I always notice with your work, and this has been from the beginning, because I think we've known each other for about 2 years now.
And more than that.
Right? It feels like it. The work that you do seems very professional. How do you keep so consistent with your work?
I think I'm just generally a very meticulous person. And that's actually something that I don't really like about my own work, like interestingly enough. I would like to be a lot messier because the artists that I like to emulate are kind of messier artists. But for me, for some reason, I just can't stop with like the clean line work, even though it's not my favorite.
I mean,
It
for me, it's good.
I'm just a naturally like meticulous person.
I understand that. So tell me about the process that's going through that.
Well, you guys have seen my sketches. It's like even when I sketch, like it can't ever be too messy. Like there's something in my brain that stops me from just like being loose with it, which is it's not a good thing in my opinion. So that's something like I definitely want to work on.
So,
It's like,
besides drawing, what's some hobbies that you have?
Oh, so right now I am super into pool. I played it like so many years ago, but then I took a break because I was moving around a lot. But I finally got back into it like within like the last 6 months or so, and it's just such a fascinating game to me. Like I'm not obsessed with it, but it's so much fun.
So billiards, huh?
Billiards.
Cool. I bet you're a pro pool, huh? Pool
No,
player,
I
huh?
wish. I'm a better artist than I am a pool player.
So we talk about pool music. I want to talk about one of the biggest medias, I guess. Movies and series. I want to know what you're into in movies. I'm a big movie guy.
Movies.
What about you?
Yes, I know you are a big movie guy. So I think my biggest inspiration is definitely David Lynch. Like really into movies that kind of blend like dreams and reality together. So like David Lynch, like Aronofsky, Robert Eggers, like those types of movies or directors are like their movies are what I'm interested in. Kind of like Twin Peaks is not a movie, but it's a show. That's like my biggest inspiration. Like movies, Requiem for a Dream, like The Northman, The Lighthouse. Donnie Darko is one of like my biggest inspirations.
Hey, shout out to Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, like I really love like surreal movies like that.
Wow. Shout out Donnie Darko for real.
Donnie Darko.
Requiem for a Dream. It's really good too. A classic.
Absolutely.
Surreal movies. What about? I think. Are you into specifically a genre specifically, a movie genre like horror or action, so
I
on?
mean, I kind of like all genres of movies. There's not. I mean, if I gravitate towards one more, I guess it would be sci-fi. But I really do enjoy everything.
Respectable.
So,
Fair.
how long have you been playing pool for in general? I know you said you're just getting back into it.
So I think I started playing back in like 2015 or 2016. I played for maybe about 2 years. The team that I was on, we actually made it to nationals, but we weren't able to compete.
Oh, so wait, you're playing like on a team and everything.
It's an amateur league though, so it's not like we're not professionals.
Joe, I'm not on any team. I'm not in any league. That seems pretty dope.
It's cool. I mean, you meet a lot of interesting people. That for a long time, I really wanted to make like a short manga about pool, but like drawing the dynamicism, that would be so difficult for me. But it's something like I've kept in my back pocket. Yeah, no, I took a break for several years after that and just got back into it now. So hopefully I don't stop again because it is so much fun.
Right on.
I think she's secretly a pro player. What do you think, Mitch?
Yeah, try not to brag. She's like, yeah, I play a little amateur league.
You're like 100. Oh,
might have heard of it. the pro
100
the
wins.
Pro Biller League. Nah, that's cool though, for real. So let's get into some of your inspos. What would you say some of your biggest inspos for Interloper are? I know you mentioned one of them kind of being like Donnie Darko.
Yes, so I think Donnie Darko, I definitely got the idea of having, I think they call it an artifact in the movie, like a duplicate item that is from like a parallel universe. Like that, I straight up, I'm not gonna lie, I ripped that off from Donnie Darko in Interloper. But I don't know, like as far as other inspirations, like if we're talking anime, I think the period like the late 90s through like the mid 2000s, like the chunk of anime I saw like within that time, that's the most like inspirational to me. So I saw like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Paranoia Agent, Gurren Lagann, Bloodlust, and I just finished Ergo Proxy like a couple weeks ago, which is a vibe and a banger. I definitely recommend Ergo Proxy. But like so like that time period of anime is probably the most inspirational to me, I would say.
That's dope.
I knew you were a Dragon fan.
Oh yeah, I think everyone does that.
So, give us a little bit more background. How long have you been drawing? How long have you taken up getting? Well, I guess serious in this indie space, right?
Yeah. I've always liked drawing, like since I was a kid, but I never like took it seriously. There were points in my life where I did want to become a better artist, and I remember taking like an art class in college, and I dropped it like 2 weeks in. I was like, no, it's not for me. So it wasn't actually until like 5 years ago where I sat down and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do this. I have the determination to do it now. But I've always been interested in art. I've always really liked art.
And what made you say, okay, yeah, this is for me. This is what I want to do?
So
when was that?
It was like during the beginning of the pandemic. My state kind of went into lockdown for a little bit, and I was working at the time, but I was working from home, so I had extra time. And I already had a tablet, I just never used it. And I was like, you know what, I have time now. What else am I doing? I might as well just like learn how to actually draw, because I've always wanted to make a manga. It just seemed like a pipe dream. So that was pretty much the first time. I don't know why, like at that particular moment, I had like the stamina and drive to do it, but it just happened to be then.
Interesting.
So, I mean, now that you've been doing it for what, the pandemic was in 2020, that's 5 years now.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years. It's crazy.
Time flies.
Easy. Time flies. For real.
What would you say some of the biggest challenges were that you've had, you know, being in some, and what I would say is like a hobby slash like profession kind of thing, that I guess, you know, not everybody can do.
Wait, can you repeat that question?
So what are some of the biggest challenges you had, like being in the space?
It's definitely putting myself out there. I'm a very naturally private person, and when I first came onto the scene, I did not realize that you had to heavily market yourself to be seen, and I was not used to that at all. Like, that is not how I am. Not outgoing, like in real life. I'm very introverted. So, you know, being in this space and like meeting everyone, that has definitely helped me like overcome that. I think like even a year ago, I would not be here talking to you guys. Like, I would have been too shy.
I think you're one of my first ever best friends I ever met in this space.
Yes.
You really think networking and all the lessons you learned impacted a lot? You say networking really impacted you, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, I always tell people that, Joe, if you hadn't adopted me, like, I wouldn't know it.
Hey, shout out to
But
Joe.
yeah, shout out to Joe.
Adopted. So we talked about the past, about inspirations. And now I want to get back to the present. I want to know, what's the daily life of the legendary Angie Khan? How is it like?
Oh my gosh, it's not that exciting. I can't even take you through the daily life. I wake up, I eat breakfast. Right now I'm not working, I'm just a housewife. So it's like I'm trying to fill my day with more things to do. But
Hey,
I
shout out to
don't know.
not
I
working.
draw, I read, run errands, like that's pretty much it.
Respectable.
So, what are some of the best things that you gained through being in the space?
I would say, honestly, it's the connections, like the people I've met. Everyone has been so, you know, in my experience, for the most part, like very uplifting, very supportive with one another. Because when I first came onto the scene, I actually kind of marketed myself as like an indie comic maker. And like over on that side, it seems like there's so much beef between so many different people, so many different factions, and it was like very overwhelming for me at first. But like once I started meeting people on the indie manga side, it was like, oh, this is a lot better. Like everyone's a lot more calm, and like, yeah, we have, you know, drama and infighting, but it's not as bad. Like in our little corner, at least, it's like, okay, at least everyone's nice.
I see it. Then talk about manga making. For you, what's the hardest path of storytelling for you, or creating in general?
I would say revisions. Like for me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so when I write something, initially I could be like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm never going to write anything better than this. And then, like, 4 hours later, I'm like, this is terrible. This is awful. I don't know why I wrote this. And so it's knowing when to, like, keep, you know, going forward versus, like, when to revise. Like, I still have so much trouble with that because, you know, I initially had 4 chapters of Interloper out. And I took them all down because I was like, oh, this is pretty much trash. Like, I'm not doing the story justice. And so it took a while to rewrite it. and do it justice. So it was, but that whole time I was kind of like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Like, should I have just kept going? Because at this point, it's like, who knows how many chapters I would have had out by now. So it's definitely that.
Damn.
I'm reading some of the comments right now. It looks like you guys all seem to like Spirit Box,
I've seen that too.
right?
Nice. These are people of culture.
All right. So I know that Interloper's been going since before I met you, and I mean at least as far as the work in progress / ongoing. But
400
exactly
BCE.
exactly how long? Exactly how long have you been working on it?
Oh my gosh. Like, pretty much almost like the whole time since I started making manga. I originally had an idea for a vampire story. Like, this was going to be like my big hit vampire story. And I was like, you know what? I suck at drawing. So let me work on something else before I get to that. And that's where Interloper came in. And it was just supposed to be like a little project, just to kind of get some experience. But then the more I kept developing the world and the characters, I was like, oh, like this is my baby. Like I actually want to develop this into something that I love. And so that's why it's taken so long too, because actually this whole like revision process, of me trying to figure out, what kind of story I want to write, like has also been like oddly personal, because I feel like I was learning how to develop these characters and then asking questions like, why does this character act this way? And meanwhile, like asking myself, like, why do I write? Like, why am I writing this? So the whole process was really introspective for me too, which is why it also took, like, it is taking so long. It's kind of like an odd personal journey that I'm going on with manga.
That's dope.
Personal,
that makes a lot of sense.
Every manga, I feel like, is personal, right? So,
Definitely.
I want to talk about. So I think only real fans know that you did overtime, right? I want to ask two questions. What made you make overtime, and if you have any future plans a part of Interloper?
So overtime was just an SMA submission. I think I got the idea actually from watching my husband. Like, he is the hardest working person I've ever met, and at the time he would come home so exhausted from work, and that definitely played into the actual storyline of the main character just wanting to go home and get to his wife. Like, direct inspiration.
Dang! Shout out to NG Khan's husband.
Shout out his husband.
So here's gonna be another question: has your husband, I guess, been like help / support for this whole creation process?
He's been absolutely supportive. Like, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for him. I think when I first brought this up to him, he was just like, oh yeah, that's cool, like a cool hobby. But like the more that I got into it, like the more like I was able to show him my passion, and he's now equally as passionate as I am. Like, luckily we're in a position where I don't have to work anymore. He just wants me to pursue this and kind of get out of the rat race. Yeah, and just, be able to be artistic and not be so stressed out about work. Like, in this current moment, not saying I'm never going to work again, but like right now, I'm able to pursue manga full time.
Hey, shout out for support.
Shout out her husband. Very beautiful. Damn, you got my heart, like, damn.
So what is it that exactly draws you to, creating?
I don't know. It's it's like almost like an instinct. It's something that I've always been interested in. And like I said, it never dawned on me that I could actually do it until about 5 years ago. But I feel like I had almost been like living on autopilot a little bit, going to college, getting a degree, getting a job. And I feel like a lot of people are sort of living that life now. And it sounds so silly, but it's like you can just make the choice to pursue your passions. Like, yeah, that does sound silly, but like that's what I did.
That's respectable.
See, I'm just gonna follow
I
my
guess
passion.
there's other motivations, right? Make you want to create manga.
I don't know. There's just always been a draw to it. Like I remember being probably like 10 or 11 years old and I bought like this how to draw manga book. But I opened up 2 pages and I said it was too hard, so I gave up. So, yeah, it's something that I've always been drawn to. I can't really explain it.
Wait, I think we talked all about all medias, but I forgot to ask you about one specific one, about games. I think you mentioned some games before. Are you interested in games?
I do like games. So my favorite game I think is Resident Evil 4. I don't know, I go back and forth with that and Ghost of Tsushima. Like I feel like Resident Evil 4 edges it out just a little bit though, because Leon is iconic. But yeah, I do enjoy games. I just don't play as often as I want to. I feel like every time I sit down to play a game, there's always like that kind of guilt that creeps over me because I should be like drawing or working
Creator's
on
guilt.
manga.
Creator's guilt.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Feel that every time.
So, let's go into a little bit about your characters. Isaac and Eva. What are the inspos for that? If you could share on that.
I feel like I don't even know where they came from. If you like a little bit of lore, like from their beginnings, there was like a Clip Studio Paint, like one of their competitions that they put out every so often. This was like back in 2019, I think. I ended up participating and submitting a picture, and it was like their prototype, like Isaac and Eva, like their prototype characters. I can't even describe this well, but like I can send the picture after. But like when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's them. So it was like from that moment that I kind of created this like random space illustration. It was like something about like Isaac's character in particular. I was like, I want to use him for something, but I don't exactly know like where the inspiration behind that came from. I think I just thought maybe like the designs looked cool.
Hey, that's fair
I
enough.
need to see that.
That's fair enough. Cool designs for the win. So, you drew them before you decided like what their personality was going to be, or were you thinking of that consciously as you were drawing them?
Oh no, yeah, their personalities came way after the fact. I was just kind of like, here's a boy, here's a girl, and like these 2 little like animals with them. I don't even know, but like yeah, I think originally like Isaac's character was supposed to be like a lot more edgy, and as I was writing, I was like, this is too much. Like I've got to tone it down.
That's interesting. So, want to know what's your creative setup like? Your desk tour in words.
Yeah, my desk tour. I have a big ass monitor. I have a tablet, but it doesn't have a screen. Like it's a screenless tablet, which I feel like when I tell people that, they're like, how do you draw? Which also might play into why my lines are too like perfect, because I feel like if I was drawing on a screen, I could, be a little bit messier with that. But yeah, my setup's not anything great, but it's working, and that's what I like about it. It's very reliable.
Because I know some people, some creators that be very messy, and the works are very messy as well, like sketchy and stuff. So because sometimes the workspace reflects the creator. So is it that kind of messy or is it neat?
Oh no, it's neat. Everything's organized.
Okay, I kind of expected it because I thought it would be funny, it would be messy, and
Imagine.
it turned out it's like super neat.
Now I have like a bunch of manga books, a bunch of like reading books. Like if anything, it's just stacked. But like my desk is big, so it's not like cluttered.
All right, good.
So, are you reading any manga lately?
I'm going through Trigun right now. I think I need one more book. It's kind of like I love the anime. I love Trigun the anime. It's my favorite anime. But like reading through the manga is a little bit difficult because some of the paneling is like kind of hard for me to understand what's going on. But the art is amazing. So I'm reading through that. I'm also reading through Vinland Saga, which is coming to an end soon. Like I don't know what I'll do when that ends, but every chapter that I read like emotionally breaks me. So maybe it's a good thing that it's ending. And then I'm going back and trying to find more Trinity Blood, which I think it's a shoujo. I'm not sure. It's drawn like one. I'll say it's one. But yeah, so those are the three right now.
Then I want to know, what is your comfort manga? Like when you're feeling stuck or just in general? Do you have one?
Do I have one? I don't know if I do. I have like
comfort anime.
Yeah, so
yeah, cool.
I will go back and watch the Disastrous Life of Psyche K. Like I can throw that on and just laugh and not think about anything. Like that is probably the funniest anime I've ever watched.
Wait, what was the name again?
The Disastrous Life of Psyche K.
Oh, classic.
Yes, it's so funny.
Stupid.
I've never seen that one. I've seen a little bit of it, but I never really got into it, I guess.
It's like stupid humor, but it's just, I don't know, it does something to me. Every time I'll see the same jokes like 80 times in a row, and I'm still like laughing so hard at them.
Hey, that's good. That's good. That's me with Step Brothers. So, sounds like you're a fan of comedy. What else is what other comedies do you enjoy?
I really love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I feel like that cracks me up. In terms of movies, Pineapple Express, like it's so dumb, but it's just so funny.
Dang.
Not that one.
But I could watch that movie like a million times in a row.
That. All right, then. Continuing that, then. I guess, well, media in general, is there a piece of media that changed your life forever?
It was Twin Peaks. I feel like when I first got into it, I was like, what is this? Because it's from the 90s, and it's like very soap opera-like. But like the more that I got into it, I was like, could this possibly be the greatest thing that was ever written? Yeah, no, it's something I think, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's niche. It's definitely like a cult classic. I don't know, it could be more popular than that. But yeah, it was Twin Peaks for me. Just watching it like opens my eyes.
David
Lynch, man.
All right. What's your favorite anime of all time?
It's Trigun.
Dang.
Oh, easy. That was bad.
Easy. Two second question.
Right.
It's Trigun.
Oh, no questions.
I really love like Cowboy Bebop too. I also really like Samurai Champloo. Paranoia Agent is a weird one, but it's really good. For anyone who hasn't seen Samurai Champloo, like you need to just go do that. Like, go watch it.
All right, I guess I need to go watch it.
Nah.
So it sounds like you're a big fan of the like the nostalgia aesthetic.
Yes.
How do you think? What do you think about the newer animes? I mean, are you a fan of those? Do you like? Are you watching any new animes?
So, yes, I do keep up with. I actually haven't watched any of this season, or maybe even the last season too. But I love Jujutsu Kaisen. That's like one of my favorite anime too. That's a recent one. And it's like, I don't know if it's just me getting older though. Like, it's harder for me to keep up with anime now in general, and I think that's why I sort of gravitate towards the ones that are more nostalgic. I don't know. Like, when I was growing up, like, I'm old, there was this block of anime on Sci-Fi, like the Sci-Fi channel called Animonday. And I feel like I found so many like weird gems like through that as well. And it's not that I don't like modern anime. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's maybe I'm just like aging out of like the shonen like story.
Favorite JK character?
Oh, that's hard. Maybe Choso? No, it's not Choso. It's Ghetto. Yeah.
Good taste.
So, what are some things that you think modern anime does better than I would guess say like the golden era, because that's what it is to me as well. I mean, that's kind of showing my age, because I'm definitely a fan of the older animes, kind of like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. What do you think? What do you think some of those newer anime are kind of missing? I would say.
Missing? I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I would say that modern anime to me is better with pacing and being more succinct with like the storytelling. Whereas like the older anime, you kind of have like more room to breathe. Or like certain shows will be more episodic where, you know, sometimes the episode has nothing to do with the main plot. And I feel like I don't know. I don't really see that much with modern anime now. It's very to the point plot wise. So I think that's like really the main difference that I can point out right now between the two of them. But like I said, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Man, so much anime talk. Let's switch it up. Alright, let's go with I wanna talk with your so I wanna know if you have some specific or just random like habits you do before you draw. If you can be specific, I don't know.
I think the only thing is I make sure that I have like a cup of coffee. There's something about coffee that's like, I don't know, it's part of my method.
Every time
like
you draw?
I'll brew coffee and then I'll come sit down and start drawing like after I'm done with everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't really have like a specific like method.
Damn. It's just coffee.
Just coffee.
Coffee and drawing. That's it. Boom.
Yeah, that's it.
Honestly, I don't mind it. So I want to know another thing about your characters. Which do you have a comfort character, or is there a character that you really like? I mean, a character design that you really like doing. I mean, drawing a lot. Is there one?
Yes, it's probably Garland. I don't know. There's something about him. I feel like he was inspired by like the cheesy 80s action star. So like he is a cheesy character. Like once you get to know him a little bit better. So there's something very comforting about that. Plus I just like drawing like how giant he is too.
He's bumped up.
I was gonna say shout out to the buff guy. Shout out to the buff guy. I think he's everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
he's a
he's
sleeper favorite.
definitely he's definitely my favorite to draw, I think.
Mm. Wait, you said you're a. If I call, you said you're a perfectionist, right, in your work.
Yes.
Is there a specific thing that you always notice that annoys you so much when you draw? That just
Sometimes,
like it triggers
yeah.
you?
Sometimes when I'm looking, it's like the spacing between the eyes is off, or like one eye is smaller than the other eye, and I only catch that like after I'm done drawing, and it's like I don't want to go back in and fix it, but it's like it always seems to be that like something's wrong with the eyes.
It's always the
There's
eyes.
a trigger. It's always the eye. Mm.
So, what's your favorite thing to draw? Is it backgrounds? Is it characters? Is it
It's characters, like more specifically facial expressions. I feel like I really like drawing faces for some reason. Um, Backgrounds I used to absolutely hate, but now they're kind of just whatever. I don't put like so much emphasis into them now, which before I would draw like every single detail, and it's like I don't need to be doing all that. Like I think the reader can get the picture of what like I'm trying to show. But yeah, so it's definitely facial expressions. There's something about that. Like it's so like comforting.
Deal with it. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. You'll get what you get.
Mm.
so?
Is there? Oh,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's pretty general, but is there a character you made that you hate the most, or like you hate a lot? Is there one or not?
There is. They haven't been introduced yet. Know if I
Oh.
hate them or if I really like them. It's a very strange feeling to write a character like that. I wish I could say more, but like I can't get into it because I haven't been introduced
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
But like I do have a character like that.
Toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a good thing, right? I mean, if you dislike a character, well, then maybe the audience is gonna dislike them.
Right? And I'm not afraid of that happening. Like if it's what I intend, like yeah, I want you to dislike them, then like that's good. I did my job. But at the same time it's like a little painful having to write a character like that.
Oof.
Mm.
So I completely had a brain lapse. Oh, are you eating any snacks while you're drawing?
Yeah,
Oh, the snack question.
lately, I would say like the last 3 weeks or so, I have really been into the extra cheesy Cheez-Its. Those are like my go-to. I have to buy another box because I just finished mine like last night. So, but yeah, no, that's like all I've been eating snack-wise.
Dang, second person to keep it cheesy.
Can't go wrong with cheesy. Like it's superior.
So I completely forgot again. I was like, I keep on forgetting the question I'm gonna ask.
Brain fart.
Yeah.
You get a lot of those?
Me? All the time. I'm surprised I haven't just stalled out already. Like, I have constant brain farts.
Meanwhile, Meech is thinking, is it okay if we dive deep into your two main characters?
Of course.
Alright, let's go with the 10 rapid questions. Isaac or Eva? What's...
Eva. Oh, I thought we were picking.
No. Yeah, no, both of them want to know, so what is their comfort food?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like Eva is definitely someone who's into sweets, and Isaac is more like the savory kind, so like fried foods. He definitely has like a terrible diet.
Alright, what kind of music they listen to?
Uh, I feel like Eva is like an electronic girl, you know? Like maybe future funk is her thing. Isaac, it's hard. I don't know. He could totally be like into emo rock. But I could also see him being into like classical music too. I don't know. He's kind of weird.
What's a little thing that irritationally pisses them off? I feel like that was said. Or no?
Each other.
Oh, that was, oh, I thought. Oh, I thought that.
Yeah, no,
I thought it was gonna be something
at least
specific.
in the beginning, they're very much like they set each other off there because they're pretty much polar opposites, like in terms of personality. So they're setting each other off quite a bit in the beginning.
Wow. But, yes. Who will win in a fight?
Probably Isaac, unfortunately.
Who will cry during a movie? Oh,
Eva. She's a crybaby.
Who lies more?
Who lies more? Eva. For sure, Eva.
Who gives better hugs?
Eva.
Who's more likely to start drama?
Oh, Eva. She's everything.
Who's secretly a hopeless romantic?
Oh my god, I think that would be Eva too.
Hey, who has better fashion sense?
Oh, that's hard. I feel like Eva wins by just like a hair.
The last one. Who will win? Who will survive a horror movie?
I think
Eva.
She's the first one gone.
Alright, that would be 10. 8 rapid questions.
That's a good segment.
How are you with writing?
With writing?
Yeah.
And like how? Like what respect?
Like what's your relationship with it?
It's weird. It's a weird one. I have never been like a creative writer. I feel like I've been more technical with writing up until like 5 years ago. So, writing is a skill. Like you're just gonna get better the more that you do it. But for me, like I think originally I was writing to write something cool or writing to write something that I hadn't seen before or wanted to see, in manga form. But like the more that I did it, the more it became, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like it became sort of a weird form of therapy where I feel like I was dissecting my characters a lot. Like I said earlier, trying to figure out like what makes them tick. And then also kind of turning that around on myself, like trying to ask myself like, okay, like why would I write this specific thing? And it just kind of went from there where I was like trying to dissect myself almost as if I was the character too. So I feel like writing has become like very personal to me now.
So you put a little piece of yourself in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of me has gone into this, like in terms of the characters and, their emotional struggles, the emotional arcs that they go through. Like Isaac specifically, like a lot of my personal life went into, his struggles, which was like weird to think about, weird to say, but like also like oddly cathartic, I think too. Sometimes you can't really express things like in real life, but you can write about it.
You can't write that you're a wanted criminal. You can't just go.
I can't tell. I was hoping to keep that a secret.
So, besides besides Interloper, are you planning to go back onto that vampire story anytime soon?
I wouldn't say anytime soon. I would definitely have to finish Interloper first. But some of the elements that were in that vampire story, I kind of taken and put into Interloper. So it's kind of weird. Like I'd have to go back and redo a lot of things. Like kind of the main themes that I was supposed to tackle for the vampire story are now the main themes of Interloper.
What?
So yeah.
Someone in the comments said, Eva wins. Flawless victory.
Of course she does.
Seriously.
She took like an 8 out of 10.
Oh, shit. So far, is there... Oh, I think it might be obvious, but is there... what's your proudest moment as a creator so far?
That's being able to finish that one shot. I feel like, in the moment when I finished, it wasn't like this big, like, aha moment. I was just kind of sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm done. What's the next thing I have to do? But as there's been more time since that, I look back and I'm like, oh, I set out to do something, and yeah, it might have taken a long time, but like, I did it. So I'm proud of myself in that aspect. Like, okay. Because if you would have asked me, like, even 5 years ago, I don't know if I would have been able to even make a one shot. And a one shot that I'm not, like, cringing at, too. Like, I could go back and read it and, like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Hey, pretty good.
It's funny you say that. I forgot where I read it, but there was I think an interview with the late Toriyama, and he said that he would he would hurry up and finish a page, like, to draw, and he would do that and then look at it and be like, yep, I hate this.
That's how it feels sometimes. And if you give enough, like, you give yourself even more time after that, sometimes you'll look at the same page again and you'll be like, oh, no, it's good. So, I don't know. The brain is weird like that. But I also feel like, we can always do something better at the same time. But sometimes you just have to be satisfied with, like, what you're able to do in the moment and move on from that. Otherwise, you'll be revising every single thing.
True. Interloper, it's a long project, right?
It's been a long project. Most of it has just been, like I said, like a weird personal journey, which is what has taken so long to write it. But, like, now that it's, where it is at now, I feel like it should go a lot faster. Because I'm not trying to sort of figure out what the themes are anymore. Like, I know what I want to write and, like, why I want to write it. So, hopefully it does go faster.
Is there, like, when you made Interloper and created it, as time goes on and you create it, do you learn a lot from it, from yourself?
Yeah, actually, it's weird because, like, I think when I first started to make manga, like, one of my goals was to sort of connect with other people. Like, the more that I went into it, I actually ended up connecting with myself more and learning more about myself. Yeah, so a cool thing that has happened, I would say.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle. So it's a very long project, I think. Well, it is. And how do you stay focused? Do you have any productivity hacks that you learned, techniques you swear by?
No, actually, it's probably the exact opposite. I don't.
Oh.
Like, I feel like there was a time where I was grinding so hard and putting so much pressure on myself to put something out, and it was probably having the opposite effect on me because I put that pressure on myself. Like, I was like, my ideas were dry, like completely dry. And once I realized I needed to take that pressure off myself and just kind of create when I felt like it, that's when the ideas started to flow. That's when things became, like, a lot easier for me.
Interesting.
So, anti-productivity hack.
Dang.
Anti-productivity
The
hack.
more you know, right?
I need to learn from that.
Yeah, I
So
just feel like putting pressure on yourself. It's like, why? We're not on a deadline or anything like that.
that's true.
Just create when you feel like creating. Don't like force yourself to.
We do recommend that a lot for sure. I was gonna say I was gonna ask how do you unwind or distress after a long creative session, but it seems like you already got that sorted out.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
I'll
how
just
do
get
you?
up and walk away from the desk. Like I get up and go into the living room. I'll
See you
hang out with my
later.
husband or like my little chihuahua and just turn it off. There was
Oh,
a time though where I could not turn it off. Like writing would consume like my thoughts 24/7, and like
mm,
looking back on it now, like that was so unhealthy. Like there's
true,
I love manga, but there's more to life than making manga.
Oof, for real.
true.
So true.
Like dogs.
Like dogs.
Like billiards.
I need to know more. I need to know about your Chihuahua. Now that you mention it,
Yes, of course.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
13 years old. He's kind of a demon, but he's so handsome. Like he's a very handsome chihuahua. His name is Goku. Like Goku.
Oh,
And
you got.
he probably has the loudest bark on the earth. Like it is ear shattering.
Ooh, ooh. Did you know? Dog owners are probably the chillest persons because dogs relieve stress.
I'll take it. Sounds like a scientific fact I can get behind.
Anyways, anyway, that my bad. That wasn't. I just wanted to say that. It's true.
I just want to say that because that's true.
It is proven. I saw it like somewhere.
I read it on Wikipedia.
The internet is never wrong.
Going back to animals, is there gonna be any dog appearances in Interloper, or is that a spoiler?
I thought about it. I thought about it, but also at the same time, I like based on the world, there aren't any animals, like real animals. So if anything, it would be like an artificial one. I want
Yes,
to have a
please.
dog. I think it's so cute, but I don't know. I don't know when it would come in.
And we have a cockroach.
We have gigantic cockroaches. It's pretty much a nightmare world.
Seriously.
I don't want to live there then. I don't want to live in the Interloper world. Replacements,
No,
giant roaches.
you would not want to.
Yeah, does not sound like a chill
It's
place.
better.
Not going there for vacation.
Mhm. Absolutely not. It is not written to be a vacation destination.
Oh, what was the specific name of the place again?
So it takes place in kind of like this underground, never-ending megalopolis. It's called the Trench. So originally I called it the Pit,
Oh,
but then
The Trench.
I think when I was writing it, that's when Gachi Akuda came out. And I think they're like in that story, it's called the Pit as well. I think that's why I changed it. I was like, oh, this is already a thing.
damn. Nah, they stole it. The trenches.
The
Which come from the
Trench.
trenches.
Mhm.
I like. Which one is worse, the Ghost City or the trench? What do you think?
The Trench, probably.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll not go there then. No wonder why the rent is so low.
It's a terrible place to be. Most of it, I'd say like 99% of the trenches, you don't want to be there.
Do not vacation.
Oh,
Do not stay. Do not recommend. Do not collect 100. Move past the go.
Are you like interested in like semi-apocalyptic settings and stuff like that? Seems like it.
Yeah, there's something a bit oddly, like I've always been sort of drawn to like cyberpunkish worlds, but I didn't want to make a cyberpunk world like technology wise. It's almost like I was shooting for a post cyberpunk world, like if that world had ended and it's sort of like the remnants of it. If that makes sense. Yeah, like I wanted it to be dystopian, but just like kind of like
dystopian.
Yeah, the world pretty much ended, and like this is what's left over.
Here you go.
Damn. Are you making them go through that?
I don't know. I guess I'm just sick.
So, are there any, or is there any memorable moments you had when creating manga? Like maybe like one panel or something that you went through hard work, or is there one that you have a lot of memories with?
No, I have a panel like that. I think I had a lot of fun drawing like every single panel. Even the ones I had a tough time drawing. So there's not one that really sticks out to me.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, there's no pages that was the hardest one for you to make.
The hardest page, I don't. It's probably one of the action panels, just because I need a lot more practice drawing action. I don't know exactly why I chose to make an action manga, to be honest with you, when I have like zero experience drawing action scenes. I don't know why I did that to myself.
So you want to learn experience, I guess.
Wanted to challenge myself.
Guess
So,
so.
what was it? I just had it on my mind right now. Hey, come back to me. I'll remember it right now.
Come on, you got this. Come on, you got this. Come on.
Oh, do you prefer? Yes. Do you prefer? Do you prefer the quiet moments, or do you prefer drawing and writing out those big wow moments?
Definitely the quieter moments. I just like writing and drawing like the characters interacting with each other. Like you could take the plot away, take the action away, and I would still enjoy like writing the dialogue between them and just drawing that. Like in a different world, this would have been like a rom-com.
Interesting. Is that the theme you really want to dive deep into? Maybe in the future?
I don't know. It's that like as much as this is like an action sci-fi story, like it does slow down. So I don't want to like fool anyone into thinking this is like all hype, because it's not. Like it's definitely like an emotional journey that these characters go on. So I would say there's a lot more slow parts than there are, hype parts.
I want to ask, but I don't know if you can say it yet. But I want to say, if like you had to pick like one theme or message that speaks or like explains Interloper, what would it be?
It's really just about like seeing yourself as you are. I think it's like very on the nose that like the interlopers are exact copies of people. And like you'll see this with like Isaac's arc the most, because he is chasing after his own interloper, and like that is just a way of him, like a way for him to really find out who he is. He's literally chasing after himself. So like that's trying to understand who you are versus the image that is kind of projected upon you, I think is probably the biggest theme.
That's funny, because that was also one of the answers that you said before, so that kind of matches. So that's deep. That's interesting.
That
so I gotta
also. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, and like also the theme of like dealing with grief is very forward in the story as well.
I just wanted to ask the chat real quick: is NGCon an interloper or not? I don't think we'll ever know.
I thought we were trying to decide if I was AI or not.
Oh, people already said that you were AI. People already decided that.
We call it interloper here. All right, not AI. We call it interloper. So okay, now that's an interesting now question. What made? How do you come up with interlopers?
I knew you were going to ask this question, so I was trying to ponder, and I don't really have an answer. I think there's something about the idea of like a doppelganger that has always fascinated me. I'm not sure why. I just knew when I started writing this that I wanted it. I thought it was going to be about cloning at first, but it's not really cloning. There's just something about the idea of like another you out there, or something about that that's always fascinated me.
I understand. It doesn't have to be like deep explanation or anything. It's just we want to know. You're DNG Con. We have to know.
Dang. Not for real.
Wait, I feel like I cut out or something. Did I miss a question?
No, we did the.
Joe is giving his
I'm
best
waiting for
narwhal
me.
impersonation right now.
No, I just said. Hey, no.
I was like, dang,
I
for real,
just said
you
that.
nailed it.
I nailed it. Thank
You nailed it.
I think Andy Cole nailed interloper. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. How much we got left?
Thank you.
When is it coming out, man?
I want to have stuff out like by the end of the year. Like I want to have like chapters out, not just like one. So hopefully there's like 3 chapters out. That's what I'm shooting for. Because that first chapter, I originally thought I was going to make like 20-page chapters, and then the first chapter was like, okay, that's not happening. It's going to be probably like 40 to 50 pages if I could use it. So, but then after that, I do want to stick to like 20 to 25 page chapters.
I asked the question about you wanted to dive into rom-coms and stuff. Is there any genres or styles, mediums in general that you want to explore but haven't?
I think there's kind of a little bit of everything in Interloper. So the genres that I would explore, like I would just do it in Interloper.
Oh, that's fair.
It's kind of a bit of everything. But I don't know, maybe like a gag manga, a comedy, just straight comedy, could be something that I could do in the future.
Alright, okay. If you could collaborate with anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would it be?
Oh, man.
Or like a bunch of people?
It would have been David Lynch. If we're talking anyone, or
let's say like 5 people, maybe.
5 people. Man,
Big ass collaboration.
That would be a crazy collaboration.
What's the lineup?
With also, if I could collab with Satoru Noda, he does Golden Kamuy. He's probably my favorite artist. Like, I absolutely adore the way that he draws characters. I would love to do a collab with him, even just like an illustration.
Well, is that 5? We got David Lynch.
This is my brain fart moment now. I feel like there's so many on the list. It would all be probably like other
alive or dead
manga creators. I don't know.
Oh,
I can't really think of anyone else.
So you got David Lynch making a manga with you. Writing some.
That would be incredible.
I'd love to see that. shout out David.
Well, he sadly passed away a little while ago. So
oh my god!
Yeah.
Don't cancel me! I forgot.
So rip to a great one.
My bad. Yeah, R.I.P. I don't know why I forgot. Yeah, my bad. Awkward. Wait, can you say something now?
So, I know you mentioned David Lynch. What are some of your favorite comics?
Like comic books.
Yeah.
I actually don't read comics. There's just, I know we've talked about this before where it's like I
Don't like the art.
should, yeah, like I feel like that sounds so terrible, but sometimes when I'm like looking through just like stuff on like X, for example, I'll see comic art and it's just like even like the way that the typeset is, like the bubbles, the speech bubbles, it's like hard for my eyes. Something about that
The
looks like
lettering.
it's not like appealing to me.
So I knew the answer to this question already, just because I know you don't like the art, but this was just to set up this question. How important do you think art is to any
Ooh,
what I would say, like visual storytelling?
the
So
great setup.
obviously it's very important because that is what will catch the reader's eyes at first. They come for the art, stay for the story, as like we all say. So it is important, but at the same time, I feel like if you can do a satisfactory job of, getting your point across without having to draw like this magnificent piece of art, like that's fine. To be honest, I'll read, like, if someone asks me to read their manga and it's not like the best looking, like I still have fun reading it. There's always something I can pull from that I enjoyed.
Damn.
Be careful with that. You
That's
just might
right.
get a bunch of people asking you to read their works now.
The manga.
I've had people just like on Instagram like send me links to their works, but it's like they don't say anything else. They just send me the links, and I'm like, you could say hi or at least like introduce
Ew.
yourself.
I've had that same instance, so I can definitely relate to that.
No highs or anything.
No
Yeah,
hi.
it's just a link.
What happened to hello? How are you?
Not today.
Doesn't exist. Don't know her.
Not today. I just need you to read my story. We could talk later.
Yeah, if at all.
So,
So
oh, go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
you go ahead.
All right.
All right. Oh.
So we did mention that you said it's not like the end all be all with good art, but like how, at what level do you think it's acceptable? Like, at what level do you think the art needs to be for it to, I guess, catch your attention or like the general audience's attention?
I feel like my standards are probably lower than the general audience. For me, actually, what will turn me off from reading a work is if the speech bubbles in text are terrible. I can deal with bad art, like as long as it's as long as I can read it. But yeah, that's what will turn me off from it. It's just like when the text bubbles are just all over the place. There's no thought that goes into it. Really, if your execution isn't that great, but I can tell you understand like how to panel and how to make the pages flow together. Yeah, I'd say you did a good job.
So art. It's important, huh?
It's important. For me though, probably not as important as it should be.
So I want to ask then. So I know we said that before that you really like Satoru's character design and stuff, how he draws it. And let's say, I know you really love drawing as well, but let's say if you could choose any artist to draw Interloper for you, who will you pick?
Probably Q Hayashida.
Ooh.
Yes, like I feel like it would make perfect sense for a story like Interloper to have an art style like that.
Ooh, I can see that. Door.
Yeah, so her hands down.
Oh, I can see that. See that. That's a nice pick. I'm gonna lie. Nice pick. Okay. What about if you had Interloper had an anime? Which production would you like it to be?
Oh, that's tough. I feel like Bones. I picked
Hey,
Bones.
shout out Studio
Bones
Bones.
Studio. Yeah, like I feel like that's what I would go with.
Mm. And Spirit Box making the opening.
Spirit Box or like even Pale Dust or maybe even like Baby Metal. Like that could be
Oh, yeah. That's some goated response from a great creator. We're here, guys. Take notes. Is there anything you regret doing in the whole process of manga creating the whole years and stuff like that, or not? Or year?
I'd say the biggest thing is probably putting so much pressure on myself when there was no reason to do that. Making myself feel like if I didn't produce the most perfect work of manga, that like it was all for nothing. Like a very unhealthy way to live. So, I'm glad I sort of came out of that phase and now I'm just doing it to have fun.
That's honestly respectable. I agree. Oh, wait. Are you what's it called? I was trying to remember the quote from the NPC lore. What was it, Meech?
What happened?
From the NPC lore, oh yeah, are you a pizza or ramen? It's very important.
Oh yeah.
Was I part of the ramen gang? I can't even remember. That was so
Oh yeah, you
long
were.
ago.
Yeah.
I was the ramen gang.
You were on the losing
yeah,
side of
to be
history that
honest,
day.
I don't know why I picked ramen. Pizza is superior, but
Ooh.
It was the hype.
Yeah.
It was the hype.
maybe.
A pizza. Pizza or a burger?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think pizza still wins though.
I think pizza's more versatile,
Yeah.
right?
True. Are you more of a winter or a summer person?
So I thought my whole life I'd been more of a winter person because I grew up in Florida and the heat is just out of this world in Florida. But when I moved out of Florida to a state that actually has a winter, I realized I was really a summer person. Like
You don't know what
I
you have
need the
until
heat.
you don't have it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Damn. That's interesting. What about sweet food or sour food? I mean,
Sweet. I have a sweet tooth and it's really bad.
Ooh. Dang, what a sweet person. Huh? No. Let's see. Are there any ideas or beliefs that you implement in an interloper from yourself?
I mean, so many. It's almost, I don't know. It's weird. It's almost like a weird diary moment where sometimes when you're writing and things just kind of come out and you're like, where did that come from? Like, why did I write that? There were a lot of moments like that in Interloper that stayed in there. I'm not going to say which ones, but like, I think you'll find
we have to
yeah, you'll have to dig deep. Like, there a lot of my own like personal ideas like make it into the story, and a lot of things that I don't agree with make it into the story as well. So it's up for the reader to explore that.
Interesting. We have to do the homework, huh?
That's just a little bit.
Damn it.
That means read the stuff carefully, guys.
I'll do the homework. I'll do the homework if it's interloper. Gotta make sure you do the Interloper homework. I'm seriously waiting for Interloper, man.
Still the most awaited
I know.
series.
I wish I could work faster. Like, I really do. Like, if I had 8 arms, man, it'd be done. It'd be done already.
We wouldn't even be talking about this. We would be talking about Volume 2 already.
Exactly.
Real. And so I want to ask. Yeah.
So, oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I've thought about recently, if I don't ever get to finish Interloper, like, I don't think that's gonna happen. But like, if for some reason I wouldn't be able to work on it anymore, like, I would probably turn it into a light novel at that point, because it has to be finished one way or another.
Dang, so the fans gonna get it finished one way or the other. You know?
Yeah, it's even if it takes like the majority of my life, like, I will finish it.
Damn,
Just for myself.
Damn.
Dedication.
Damn.
You know, that's that kind of reminds me of what's his name? You know, a small time mangaka, Togashi. There you go.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he made like some manga. It became like a show or whatever. But people were saying, like, at this point, they would be satisfied with just, you know, a light novel, just telling the rest of Hunter x Hunter. And
yeah,
made on the Hunter. Yep.
It makes you wonder, like, why. You know, he's got to do it his way, though. Like, even if he doesn't want to write a light novel or have, like, someone else do art, like, I understand that from an artistic perspective. Like, sometimes you just have a vision and you need to stick with it, even if it takes, like, a very long time.
You know, that reminds me of the SpongeBob episode. And we're gonna keep on striking, even if it takes the next day, or the next day, or the next day. I don't know if I remember that, if I said it right, but it feels like something like that. You know, that brings me up to another question that I want to ask. Do you find yourself to be a creator for your fans or a selfish creator? And I don't mean selfish in a necessary... Oh, there you go.
Absolutely. Like...
What?
When I create, like, it's for me. Like, I am my biggest audience. And it's easy to say that now because, like, you know, I don't have fans right now. So, I mean, it is easy for me to say that now. But I feel like when you collect, like, when you eventually have readers, like, that might change. But for right now, like, everything I'm doing, I don't take the reader into consideration at all. Like, this is for me.
Y'all gonna get what I put out.
Pretty much. Like, this is my story, and, you know, if you don't like it, you don't have to read it, of course.
Interesting. So you mentioned older forms of media, like light novels. I was wondering if you never made manga, would there be another creative media that you would be interested in diving into?
I don't know. It's kind of weird to envision my life like never having made manga. Like, I don't know what I would have done to sort of, you know, express myself creatively. Maybe writing. I'm not exactly sure though. Like, it almost in a way feels like it had to be manga. Like, this was the only outlet.
This was fate.
Exactly. Like, there was a reason why I've been drawn to it for so long.
That's true. And more to come.
Exactly.
More to come for reals. So, even with all the stress and all this, like, it sounds like you're pretty dedicated to it. What would it take for you to not want to do it no more?
Honestly, probably, it's not that I wouldn't want to do it anymore, but I feel like I'm sort of hitting that age where, like, starting a family is coming into more of a consideration. So it's like, if anything, I would be busy, like, raising children to where, like, I wouldn't be able to work on manga. It's just outside forces. I would still want to work on it. I just don't know if I'd be able to.
Yeah, I think I thought about that too. Because it's dual responsibility, right? It's you have to take care of your other creation, the one that's like alive.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, at that point, it would just be about just having time and not being completely exhausted. I don't know. I don't want to think about not drawing manga, but there could potentially be a time where it's just like, I don't have time to do it.
Ooh,
It's gonna be like
different goals.
It's gonna be like that SpongeBob meme. All right, y'all, I'm gonna head back.
There's a SpongeBob beam for everything.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
You know what? I think we're almost done with this Eva drawing.
She's really
Eva
cute.
looking good.
Now
Drawing.
I've drawn both
Looking
officially.
good. Oh. We're watching that live stream right now. Drawing.
Yeah, this was the debate last time for who I was gonna draw, but I knew I had to draw Isaac for the culture.
Thanks.
But this time, since Eva won a flawless victory,
She had to do her.
One.
yeah, I had to draw her when she officially ratioed Isaac in that.
Shit. Now I wonder which one. I drew a lot of interloper fan art. I don't know which one I drew more.
It's kind of even.
Eva.
I can
Yeah,
see
Eva.
me though. Yeah, that makes sense.
The goat.
Yeah, she won.
Now, but props to Isaac. Does Eva have a full name?
He does. I don't want to reveal it yet though, but it's really
Okay.
long.
You said it's really long.
It's really long.
Dang, so it's like a Hispanic
Oh.
name.
Damn.
Eva de la Torres Fuentes Figueroa.
Never-ending name.
So long it doesn't fit on the whole license.
Yeah. Long
Yeah.
we went.
Go ahead.
It's nearly like 1 hour 20. Right?
Do you have a favorite out of the two?
It constantly flips. Like I can't pick between them. To be honest with you, like it really is just like changes by the day.
Day and night.
Because they both have aspects that I really like, but then at the same time they both have like aspects that are incredibly annoying. So, I don't know. Like it's really hard to pick between them.
Yeah.
Who's your current favorite?
I love it.
Is my what?
Who's your current favorite?
Right now it is Eva.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she did win the.
Is it because? I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Is it because of that?
Just like storyboarding her moments in like chapter 1. She's just such an annoying like crybaby snitch that I just have so much fun like making her.
Is Isaac harder to draw, or is he easier to draw?
He used to be really hard for me to draw, but now I'd say he's pretty easy. I think they're both relatively easy to draw for me now, just because I've drawn them so many times, and I think me doing like more of a detailed storyboard helped with that, because I would just sketch their faces like so many times until like I could draw them with like my eyes closed now.
Wow. We have to
So,
see it
yeah.
one day. I really like how Isaac and Eva are like polar opposites. I was wondering if they're. Oh, you going?
No, go ahead.
Oh, you were gonna say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like that whole, when you have like dual protagonists, like they generally are opposites. Like if you think of like Naruto and Sasuke, which was like maybe that's like where I was getting their inspiration from, but like they have opposite colors, even like that. That's what makes a good dual protagonist to me, that they can play off each other because they are opposites.
True. I like that as well. But I was wondering too, if there are any like, I guess, tropes or cliches that you really like. In general, I guess.
I can't think of anything specific. And I do like tropes. Like they are, they work for a reason. I feel like a lot of people now try to write stories that sort of try to, I forget what the term is, but to almost like go against the tropes. But it's like, if you can write a trope well, like just do that. Like you don't need to subvert expectations. I think that's what it is. Subvert expectations.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
At least.
I definitely agree. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I said, the tropes are tropes, and they work for a reason.
True, that's very true as well. Someone said, "Eva Gaspacho de la Cruz." Is that gonna be your real name, huh? Are you gonna?
I could add that part into it, make it even longer.
Dang, it's longer than that.
It would be funny if you don't have a name. Actually, I just put that. You're hiding about it. It's like, yes, you had a long name, and then you put that. Kind of fake it.
Does anybody mention? Nah, never mind. That might be a spoiler.
Oh.
So. I know you said you related to to Isaac in some ways. Is there any similarities between you and Eva?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but like honestly, she has the exact like polar opposite personality for me. Maybe it's some of her struggles, I would say, but like I wanted to write her as this very like cheerful, bubbly, like airheaded crybaby character. There's someone like that. I really like her though. I think she's really cute. So no, I don't think there are really too many similarities with like me and Eva.
Do you have any favorite behind the scenes moment that never made it to your story?
Oh my gosh, I feel like so many. So many that I sort of made, like I started like the Off the Clock series, like the mini series with them, that I'll put out like in between chapters. Hopefully that's like the goal right now, but it's like the sort of slice of life moments that don't make it into the main story. Like I still want to draw them, so they get like their own little 2-paged chapters.
That's cool. I always like little whatchamacallit it. Kind of like you said, like a little bit more about the character behind the scenes kind of stuff. I think those are super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more character development.
This question is the most important one. If you if you could have a superpower, what would it be? That's really
Honestly,
important, huh? Really
I
important.
feel like being able to like freeze time. I've always thought that would have been a really cool superpower to have because, like, I could freeze time, take a nap, wake up, unfreeze it, and still have time to like do things.
That's respectable because same.
Now since we're
Not
asking
the
random
most
questions,
flashy power.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna stop time right now. Just leave.
if you could be in a TV show, what TV show would you be in?
Oh, that's a hard one. Because all the TV shows that I like, they have like the worst worlds. Like you wouldn't want to be in the world. That's so tough. Maybe I don't know. I can't even answer that. Like I said, all the worlds that I like they're terrible worlds.
Oof. All right. Here's a more specific question. Would you rather be in the Digimon world, or would you rather be in the Pokemon world? Would you be rather kicked out of your? Oof.
That is a trap.
I mean, you literally get trapped in the digital world if you're in the Digimon world. But I mean,
I understand that. However, I've always been a Digimon person over Pokemon.
Dang.
Damn.
That was definitely unexpected.
Now they're gonna get some fans troubled up right now.
You know what? Digimon was pretty cool though.
Yeah, it was.
But at the same time, if you think about it, in Pokemon, you get kicked out of your house at like what, 10, 11?
Out into the real world.
So I don't know if there's really a better choice, to be honest. Both are pretty equal.
Yeah, they both have their pros and cons.
Because which character in your story will you love to have as a roommate?
Honestly, Garland. Because I've written him to be like very neat. So, like, he's a neat freak. So that's why.
Interesting. Now we talk about the settings, right? Because you don't want to be in the freaking fucked up settings. So you gotta choose now a character in your story. Which one would you choose, and which setting would you choose, like TVs or any media?
Pick a character in a setting.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know about character, but now that I think of in my story.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't know if I want to be any of them, knowing what I've written.
You're gonna create the most fucked up story.
Not even that. It's just like I feel like maybe Eva. She. Yeah, I'll just say that. I won't go into it, but.
You're gonna put it in a fucking zombie movie. Oh, poor Eva. So, Evo, which one of the two characters will you do a possible spin-off? Or in general? Like, just a story about
Who
them.
would be more likely?
It would probably be Eva, simply because I think the main story more so focuses on Isaac, and not that she doesn't have like her own arcs or anything, but it's definitely not to the same degree that we get with Isaac. So she could definitely have like her own little spin-off.
Do you think?
I'll buy that.
Do you think? Who do you think has a bigger fan base already, Isaac or Eva? You had a guess.
It's really hard to say because I always assumed it was going to be Eva, just because she's like a cute character. So I would go with that, but I don't know. It could go either way.
Let's see, chat. Who do you guys prefer already, Isaac or Eva?
Long time question. I wish I could put a poll.
Meanwhile, while they're asking that, I think I asked this before. Well, let me ask this. Let me preface this question. Have you ever played any of the Pokemon games?
I think the only game I've played is actually Pokemon Snap. Like, not even gonna lie.
Snap?
You know what?
Yeah, like I think that's the one where you take pictures of them.
I don't think I've ever. Oh, I remember that game. Yeah, I didn't play that. I did
Like,
not.
I've never played the actual Pokemon games
Ooh,
before.
never mind. I can't ask this question then.
When you said Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Let's see what they said.
It's in between right now.
It's a tie.
You gotta wait for
That
more
makes
people.
sense. Yeah, you need a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. Alright then, describe your story with just 3 emojis.
A cockroach emoji, TV, and a lightning bolt.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, where the hell is the cockroach anyway?
I think there's a
Oh, there we
cockroach
go.
emoji. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid description. I think you covered everything right there.
You said lightning bolt. Oh,
Yes.
alright, there we go. We got the official certified 3 emoji description.
There we go.
I'll do that.
I have to send it. I want to visit the trench. I don't know about you guys.
That doesn't sound like a place
Do you
to
think I was
vacation in.
The safe part. Yeah, there's definitely safe parts in it. Most of it, though, is just like a lawless like land with very little electricity, and those are the dead zones. Like, you don't want to be there.
Would they let me join the group?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe if you ask nicely.
Yes. I think got my next travel trip. Wonder if it's cheap over there, huh?
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if I should say this, but that reminds me of a meme. Right, so that was like, no wonder why the rent is so low, and it's like Attack on Titan.
It's kind of the same thing, though.
Mm. So, what's the most fun part of your story creation? Like world building, character development, dialogue, something else?
I think it's just writing the character interactions. I spent a lot of time world building, like initially, and so much of it, like 85% of it, doesn't even make it into the story. So I
Dang.
definitely like it. I wasted so much time
Mm.
trying to figure out like the mechanics of the world, and like when it came down to it, it's like, okay, this doesn't even matter. So don't do that. But yeah, so writing the characters just interacting with them, like with each other, that to me is probably the most fun because they're all really silly, like in their own ways.
Interesting.
So, what's gonna be? Look. Wait. Let me see. Never mind. We have a three-way tie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Eva,
So
Isaac, and Buff Guy team.
Okay, valid, fair and valid.
Nobody expected it, yet everybody expected it. So, what's gonna be? Oh, let me see how I ask this one. What's gonna be the most, I guess, satisfying moment for you with Interloper? Like, when are you gonna be like, this is what I was working towards?
Oh my gosh, it's so far away. I
oh,
feel like when we find. So let me kind of go into like the plot of this series a little bit. That way I can kind of explain this a little better. So, like with the one shot, you kind of got a taste of what the world is about, sort of. But you kind of find out that Isaac has his own interloper that he is looking for. And so the series goes into that. Like, that is the main plot of the series, where not only was his posse killed by his own interloper, but they were all replaced by their own interlopers too. So you follow him sort of tracking them all down like Kill Bill style, in order to find his interloper, who we're just going to call Scissors because that's easier than saying interloper. But so I think the most satisfying part will be the moment that he finally finds Scissors. Like, just like that to me is like the biggest hype moment. So I can't wait to get to that.
Dang, that does sound dope.
interesting.
I hope that I can execute that well.
I got another lineup of questions for the Isaac versus Eva questionnaire.
Round two.
Well, not. You down for another round?
Yes.
I read. So, who will win in a dance battle with zero prep?
Eva.
Who will forget their own birthday?
Eva.
Who's most likely to start a fight over something petty?
Oh, Eva.
3-4-3. Who will get
Just dominating.
Who will get lost in their own hometown?
Eva.
Oh my. Who will 100% get cancelled on Twitter first?
Oh, Isaac.
Who will fake their own death just for the drama?
For the drama, probably
Just
Eva.
for the drama. Who's most likely to accidentally become famous?
Probably Isaac.
Who will sell out the group for snacks but then feel guilty?
Isaac.
Oh yes. Who will start a cult without realizing it?
Oh, that's. I think Isaac might take that one.
Who will write a fan fiction of their own life?
Eva.
Who will accidentally become a meme and hate it?
Eva.
Okay. No, so I guess so. Might be a tie, but I think you said Eva more.
Just a little bit.
It felt like I said Eva more.
I think that's just a little bit.
Oh. We gotta prop up to make it Isaac more. You wanna keep going? Or you wanna ask more questions?
It's up to you. You're the interviewer.
If Meech got more stuff to say, I feel like we've gone through everything. Are there any secret stuff that you want to tell more about yourself, the creator?
About myself. I don't know. I don't know about secret. I can't think of anything right now, but.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, how long? And this is probably, a tougher question. But how long do you see Interloper taking you?
Years. I'm trying to have it be between at the very most 50 chapters, but even that sounds like a lot. So that'll be literally years.
All right. Quick.
Which is why that's why I was entertaining the light novel route as well, because obviously I can knock that out and that won't take years to do.
That'll take me a week. I get it done. I get it done before lunch. Would you entertain? Would you entertain the idea of having assistants?
Yeah, for sure. If they if I was able to, put my vision out there and they were able to see it. Also, with the way that I make my storyboard so detailed too, all you would have to do is just ink over that, so it wouldn't be that hard.
And then,
so yeah.
Another question: What would the ideal, I guess, assistant be for you? What would be the qualities that you'd be like, yep, that's what I want to team up with. That's what I want to work with.
I just think someone who, I don't know, it's kind of hard. I would really want someone who's just as excited about my story as I am, but I don't know if I will find that is a thing. In terms of skill, that you can always work with, but in terms of wanting to be a part of the project, you'd have to show a degree of passion too, which is a lot to ask for, because plenty of people have their own projects that their own passion goes into.
Y'all heard it. Job applications for interloper assistants are open. You better sign up.
Must be willing to devote half of life, at least.
That's it. I'm not asking for much.
No short term, not a short term position. Must have at least 5 years of experience, non-negotiable. So,
I'm gonna invite Isaac forward. Gonna motivate me every day.
So, kind of following up with that, what do you think is the general opinion on having people assist with work versus having the whole idea of I can do this by myself kind of thing?
I kind of lean both ways. I'm kind of a control freak, so I could definitely see myself just continuing to do this on my own. almost for the sick satisfaction of being able to say I did this all by myself. But at the same time, it's like if you have people who are willing to help you and you can afford to pay them, you know, they have the skill to do it. Why? Like, why not do that then? Like, why put yourself through, you know, extra work when you don't need to?
Mm.
Do you think?
Deep.
I mean, you kind of explained it, right? It's kind of like a self satisfaction kind of thing. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think creators kind of suffer from that? Like, I'll just use again the example of the little known mangaka Togashi doesn't really want like an assistant, but I guess that's kind of going into the territory of being selfish and not caring what the fans want, right?
Yeah. I think there's a bit of ego that goes into that too, or maybe you've set the goal that you want to finish what you've started like on your own. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, yeah, your readers, they're gonna suffer, but like that,
It's okay.
more so speaks to, I think, like the artists, like their own vision, which, you know, they've got to do things the way that is most authentic to them.
Do you think that as a creator you have to sacrifice anything for the audience, or do you feel like it's do you feel as if you don't owe the audience anything?
It's, as it stands right now, I definitely lean towards not owing them anything, but like I said, this will probably change if I were to gain a bigger audience, because, you know, I've seen it plenty of times where like you have a certain vision for your story, and like the bigger that it gets, like you let sort of the fans and their feelings dictate like where your story goes. And I'd like to think that like that wouldn't be me, but at the end of the day, I can't say that with like 100% confidence that I wouldn't let that affect me.
Have you ever felt disappointed by a creator? Like, have you ever have you ever had that moment where you're like, I wish you would have given me more, or I wish you would have went this route?
Yeah, so I think the ending of Attack on Titan like had people like very split. I wasn't on the side where like Eren should have been just like this super edgy monster, but like something about the way that it all sort of like came together for me, like my biggest gripe was kind of like the Marvel sort of ending, where it's like I do feel like certain characters shouldn't have made it. Like I don't think that everyone should have lived.
Okay. Whoa. Who should have died?
I think Levi should have died, and I think
Interesting.
I think Connie and Jean should have died, and Annie.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, she should have died.
Yeah, I don't like them. You should have killed them. They gotta go. Sorry, overstayed their welcome.
Hey, they're done. Sorry. Yeah. See ya.
No, but that's interesting. So, when you have a series as big as that, you know, no matter what, your ending is always going to be kind of controversial, because there is no such thing. There's no such thing as a perfect ending. I can't ask that. You know what? I can't ask these questions that are coming in my head, because that'll be like, I guess, spoiler territory. But what are some like absolutes that you think that you will never play into, I guess? Like, what can fans not expect from you?
I'm not sure if I can like say anything specific. Like, all that I can sort of guarantee is that, you know, whatever I put out is going to be authentic. Like, I'm never going to be writing something because I think it'll you know, it'll be more marketable or anything like that. Like even if something is not unsatisfying, but even if I write something that, this is like so hard to word, basically like what I'm putting out is like the most authentic version of like what I want to write. Like I'm not doing it to like gain clout or anything like that.
Okay, so
I'm not writing something because I think it's going to be a hype moment. Like,
I know how to word
I
this.
think the story needs to go.
You wouldn't sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sell out.
So it seems like artistic integrity is very important to the core of the stuff that you do, the stuff that you create. So
yeah, I mean it doesn't need to be that way with everyone too. Like everyone creates for a different reason. Like some people take it a lot more lightheartedly than I do. But because like I don't know, so much of myself goes into what I write and what I make. I think that authenticity is like the most important thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
That's awesome, especially because I see a lot of people come into the space. And I think me and Joe kind of touched on this with a couple of our guests before, but everybody kind of comes into this. Not everybody, right? Because that's a big generalization. But a lot of creators come into the space and they expect success, they expect clout, they expect a bunch of stuff that's not necessarily guaranteed, nor even like it's not even like a close to a real possibility, right? Because making the next Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, etc., that's kind of like a pipe dream. At the end of all of this, what are you expecting to get? What are you hoping to get?
I'm just hoping to put something out there that I can be proud of. That is like 100% made by me, something that reflects myself. Like that's really it. I couldn't really ask for anything beyond that.
That's
How do you
oh, go ahead.
How do you deal with burnout or creative block?
Oh, those are the worst, creative blocks. I find that when it happens, sometimes I'll just try to work through it, but more times than not, that doesn't work. And sometimes I just need to like step away from the project for a bit and like go live real life and, then come back to it. Because, like I said, I'm not somebody who forces themselves to really work through things like that anymore. So that's kind of how I deal with it. Like I know that with the process of creation, like it's an ebb and flow type of thing. So sometimes you're going to be hot, sometimes you're going to be cold, and that's just a part of the process. So knowing that you're going to burn out eventually, or you're going to hit like a creative block, like just keep that in mind. So when it happens, you don't completely like lose your mind over it, thinking that like you're never going to get back to it again.
Solid advice. Man, that's deep.
All right, so we're closing into 2 hour mark. Joe, you want to close us out with that last question?
The final question that we ask in every podcast, right?
Just about.
I think you know what question it is, right?
Advice, I think it is.
True. If there's one advice that you could give to every creator watching this, or every creator in general, what would it be?
I think this might be a weird one. Just to take things slow. I feel like the type of world that we live in now, like everything is so instant and we're all so like overstimulated 24/7. That even like when you're creating, like you are so stimulated. So learn to do things slowly and quietly. Like for me, like even washing the dishes, like nothing on, just focusing on like what's in front of me with no outside interruptions. Like this sounds silly, but like the way that I've
Um,
learned is that like how you do one thing is how you do everything or mostly everything. So if you're rushing through tasks, you're going to be rushing through like your writing or rushing through your drawing. And like these are things that you should be taking your time with, like in my opinion. So that's what I would say. Just like be slow and learn to sort of unplug from the world, like when you're creating.
damn. But let me put a quick.
I don't think we could have gotten a better answer for that. That was a great way to go ahead and close it out. Well, Con, appreciate having you here. It was a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure the audience had a lot of fun learning about the creator of Interloper. In case you guys haven't read it, you guys can check it out on Global Comics. I would say the Manga Plus site, but that is currently shut down for a bit. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming on the show and answering these questions. It was great having you.
Yeah, thank you for having me and thank you for everyone who tuned in.
Yeah, really appreciate you here.
Thank you. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, guys. That was another episode of Unpopular Mangaka. Again, you guys go check out Con right there on Instagram and social media. And until next time, we'll be out next week. We're gonna be having a little bit of a hiatus. We're gonna be working on some stuff, reformatting some of the episodes, the earlier episodes. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you guys in about 2 to 3 weeks. All right.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah.
I see you guys.
Can I do one more?